Hello there and welcome to my channel, Novice Modelling and the Midlife Crisis. And this morning I'm going to be doing you a quick what's in the box kit review on my REVELL kit pack P-38 JM Lightning in the 172 scale, kit number 04323. Now, as you can see, I've left this in its plastic packaging as I got it off eBay. I can't exactly remember exactly how much I paid for this, but I think it was somewhere probably between 15 and 20 quid. As you can see, you actually get 3 pots of paint with this and some contactor glue, and there's also a paintbrush knocking about there, which we can have a bit of a laugh about in a minute as well. Now, this particular kit comes from a tooling that REVELL originally introduced in 1976. There were some new parts, not exactly what they are, added in 1982, and this particular box art originates from 1991. There are numerous, and when I say numerous, I mean numerous box arts and different decal options on the REVELL kits. But as far as I can tell, everything does seem to originate from this 1976 tool, 1982 new parts. Quite what that means, I'm not quite sure. So what we can say is that this particular kit originates from somewhere after 1991, as that's when this box art came from. So it could be, you know, 33 years old, something like that. Incidentally, it does actually, somebody has actually written on it here. Just bring that forward so you can see it. Northfield Models, 28th of the 4th, 04. So somebody bought this either new or second hand in 2004, that's 20 years ago, from a place called Northfield Models, wrote on it and then put it in their cupboard for 20 years, and then I somehow managed to get it on eBay. So it's obviously got an interesting history. So I'm just going to cut this off, and then we're going to have a look at the box, and then we're going to have a look at the glue and the paints, and kind of see, I already know this, but the brush it's kind of lost its hairs. So the brush is useless, so we'll just chuck that on the floor. We've got some glue here. Anyone not want to know what 20-year-old contactor looks like? I'll find out in a second. Excuse the racket. So we wrestled our box away from our outer packaging. And here are our 3 tins of paint. So I think what I'm going to do first is I'm going to open the paint up and we'll have a look and see what it looks like, basically, because I'm fascinated to see if this is actually usable or not. And inside we still have some liquid, basically, so let's find us something to give it a bit of a stir with. Let's just use this matchstick. And as you can see, the paint looks pretty usable. Needs a good thinning out, I would say, but that looks perfectly okay to me. So I think as an experiment, we're going to use that for the main body. And I think we can probably assume that this sort of beigey colour and this green colour, which is for the nose and the engine nacelles, are probably going to be okay as well. So there we go, we've got 3 tins of paint. I don't think I'm going to try and use this contactor, but I don't think it's usable. It's very congealed and gloopy. So the gloopy glue is 20-year-old, even more gloopy glue. So I think we'll be chucking that in a bin as well. So anyway, what you came here for, I suppose, is to have a look at the kit. So let's have a look at it. There we go. There's our box, here's our instructions. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly read out any information that we get with this. Let's have a look. I am flying blind because I haven't looked at this obviously, and there's no interesting history to go with this, so never mind. I'll have a quick look at the instructions. As per a decent sized manufacturer, you'd expect the instructions to be pretty good. So we've got the cockpit assembly here, then we've got the top section of the wing. I'm going to attach this to this cockpit section. Next on, we're going to do the engine nacelles and the twin booms, and then we're going to try and put the twin booms onto the main top wing. Put these two sections of the wing in as well, and attach this rear tailplane rudder part. Then we're going to attach our undercarriage, our front landing gear, our two propellers and nose cones, front sections of the engine. We're going to stick our pilot in section here, section 8. And looks like then we're going to put our cockpit cover on as well. And then we're going to end up with something like this. So we actually get two slightly different variants here. We get a P-38J and a P-38M. Not exactly sure off the top of my head what the difference is there, but I'm sure we're going to find out. And then we get some interesting sort of spec sheets, which are detailing pretty much the colours required and our decal plan. So this one here is P-38J Lightning 367th Fighter Group of the 9th Air Force, and this one is P-38M Night Lightning. I did actually have a quick snoop on the internet, and this one, which is Gung Ho, was actually stationed in France, so that's where this one was stationed. They reckon it was actually scrapped in Germany after the end of the war. As we can see from the decals, we've got our interesting nose art here, and then we've got a whole different section of US roundels and all these sort of little red caution and warning signs, which look as though they're going to be incredibly interesting to put on. Hopefully the decals are in a serviceable sort of condition, because obviously something that's 20 to 30 years old, decals can get a bit temperamental. But I have recently been on the receiving end of some pretty good, it appears, tips on how to deal with ancient decals. So there we go. So a couple of pieces have come loose, so I'm going to have to be a little bit careful. The first sprue we've got is our cockpit cover. Does kind of appear that maybe we got two different cockpits here, two different variants. One's got this sort of bubble on it, and this one's sort of standard. There's one piece to attach for the pilot to get in, so maybe they're part of two of our different variants. Our loose parts are one of the booms, which looks in perfectly reasonable condition. We've got this piece, which I'm probably going to guess goes underneath here somewhere. I've got a loose propeller blade, and that looks like part of the tail assembly. So, we got another loose piece here. There's another boom that's come loose. Needs a bit of attention. No flash or anything like that. And we have two sprues. So let's just get them in the right place. The first one, as we can see, we've got this under section here for the wing and the cockpit. This is our cockpit interior. We've got some, I'm pretty sure they're going to be bombs of some description. These look like a couple of exterior drop tanks. Got a couple of propellers. Ah, yeah, there we go. We have actually got a broken propeller. Nightmare. One of our propellers is busted, so that's going to take a bit of figuring out. I'm sure we can manage to do that. There's a couple more drop tanks. There's this other piece, which I'm guessing is part of the underneath of the boom engine. There's our part of our tail. Don't know what those parts are. Oh, gutted about that. Gutted about that propeller. Next up, here's our other two sections of our twin booms. There's part of the wing assembly. There's our nose with our holes for our nasty looking cannon or machine guns. Got a couple of, these look like the engines here. Got two pilots by the look of it, which is kind of interesting. Don't know why we get 2. 3 pilots are always a good thing. Here's our main top section of the wing. Got some wheels with some reasonable sort of detail on them. That's part of our propeller housing. There's our undercarriage. I mean, it all looks okay, but I mean, you can definitely tell this is, well, I mean, is it fair to call a 1991 to 2000 kit vintage? Well, I kind of think it is, because I was I was young back then, and I kind of feel old now. But this is quite obviously, I mean, you can quite obviously tell by the detail or lack of it that we are looking at a sort of, you know, a vintage kit, because the detail is not great at the end of the day. It does have its issues. Yeah, I mean, the detail on the wings here is, yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of these panel lines, these are actually raised panel lines, which are not very correct, I don't think. Everything is kind of vague, doesn't look great, but at the end of the day, it's a cool model of a really cool plane. As a novice, I mean, do you really want to go out and spend sort of 30 or 40 quid on a really sort of up-to-date modern version and risk making a bit of a mare of it? So I'm quite happy with this. I'm quite happy to build it, and I've got 3 apparently usable paints as a bit of a bonus. Unfortunately, the glue, which I wasn't going to use anyway, and the brush are totally useless. And we got a broken propeller. Oh well, ho hum, never mind. The plan is to actually make a start on building this evening, so I'll probably paint up whichever of these pilots is the correct one, and I'll probably assemble and paint the undercarriage and seat, sorry, the interior cockpit and the seat, and we'll put all that together. I might have a go with the wheels as well, and then tomorrow I'll do another video and we'll see where we're at. And then obviously, with this being a predominantly silver aircraft, the logical kind of recommended way to attack this would be to give it a black base coat, and then attack it with our Revell colour 20-odd-year-old paint. So yeah, that's the plan. So hopefully, with a bit of luck, we might get this finished by the time we have to go back to work. I mean, that's, what have I got? 2 whole days, an evening to start it, and maybe the morning to finish it before I go in. I think that's kind of doable. So there'll be a few more videos up over the next couple of days, and we'll be basically trying to get this one finished. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this little vintage-ish kit. I am gutted about the propeller, but we're going to make an effort at fixing it. Please do tune in for the next couple of days, and we'll see how far we get with this. Be seeing you.